My biggest fear as a leader was never that I'd be too hard on my team. It was that I'd be so afraid of being the bad guy that I'd leave them lost. Here's the thing about being a people-first leader. Your instinct is to soften everything. The feedback, the deadlines, the direction. You don't want to be that boss. But that instinct, the one that feels like kindness, it can be quietly doing more damage to your team than those hard conversations will. Because when your people don't know what's expected of them, that's not freedom. It's more like fog. And nobody performs well in fog. Clarity is a form of care. Nobody sits you down and says this when you first become a leader. So we're gonna say it now. Hi there, I'm Martina, mom, leader, entrepreneur with more than 20 years of human resources and leadership development experience and a certified executive coach. And I got a lot of this wrong before I ever got any of it right. But here's my real why. My kids, they're young adults and walking into the workforce now. And what I want for them, what I want for all of us, is to work in organizations and someday run those organizations with the kind of vibrant, supportive cultures most of us have only wished for. That culture doesn't come from a poster on the wall or a strategic plan on the shelf. It comes from the way we experience our workplaces, our teams, and our leaders, which is why we're here. Now, you've probably seen 100 videos or sat through several trainings where they ask you, what's your leadership style? It's like a quiz or a label, a personality box that you find yourself in and feel like you have to stay in forever. This series is built on the opposite idea. Style isn't who you are, it's a skill you use. And over the next 6 episodes, we're going to build on all of them. Clarity, coaching, being seen, and letting go. And 2 others few people teach: how to read which one the moment actually needs and how to switch styles without giving your team whiplash. Today, episode 1, the foundation everything stands on, Directive Leadership, the one that most people are scared of. And here's my promise to you. By the end of this video, you'll know the 3 moments when directive leadership is the most caring thing you can do, and the 4 moves that keep you from becoming the boss you fear, and 1 question that changes how you give direction forever. Because I think by the end, you'll see this style the way I've come to see it. Not as control, but as care. Now, I know part of you is probably thinking, directive sounds like the boss you swore you'd never become. Me too. The one who barked orders at you. The one who makes people feel small. I get it, because I've been there. Early in my career, I had someone on my team who kept making the same mistake over and over and over again. And I said nothing. Because in my head, clear direction felt like building confrontation. And I'm not a fan of confrontation, like something I'd be doing to them. I didn't want to seem controlling. I didn't want to seem harsh. So I held back and I told myself I was keeping the peace. Here's what holding back actually costs. It was hard on them. They never got the information they needed to really be successful. It was hard on my employer. They were counting on me to lead the team, and I wasn't. And honestly, it was hard on me because I was walking around frustrated at somebody for repeating a mistake I had never once named out loud to them. They didn't even know. They couldn't read my mind. And yet I was trying to lead a team of people while making them make assumptions and guess. And here's what I've learned since. When we avoid giving direction, we tell ourselves a story. We say we're empowering people to do the job. We're giving them space to be successful. We're trusting them to really figure it out. But most of the time, we're not protecting them. We're protecting ourselves from the discomfort of being clear. And the person paying for that comfort is them. They're the ones laying awake wondering if they're doing it right. They're the ones getting the feedback 3 months too late when it's not as useful. They're the ones failing at the job that nobody actually explained to them. That's not kindness. That's momentary comfort for us as the leader, not for the people we lead. So, before we go any further, drop a comment. Have you ever worked for someone who was so worried about being liked that they never actually knew where you stood? I want to hear it because I think this is more common than we'd like to admit. Okay, so if directive isn't barking orders, what is it? I like to define directive leadership as this. You tell someone clearly what needs to happen, what good looks like, and how you'll check in along the way. Specific expectations, specific standards, and specific support. That's the equation. You're not asking them to guess. You're not asking them to read your mind. Remember how well that worked for me. You're handing them a roadmap. Now, I want to be clear about something because there's a version of this that could go wrong, and the research actually has a name for it. When leadership becomes only about expectations, rewards, and consequences, think targets and numbers, a carrot and a stick. Researchers call that transactional leadership. And used alone, it builds a compliance culture, and I promise you, nobody wants that. People do exactly what they're required to do and not 1 inch more because they've learned that they're only valued for those numbers, for those metrics. That's not what we're building here. Directive done right is a season, not a system. It's clarity in the moments that need it, wrapped up in actual relationships with real human beings. And that's not micromanagement either. Micromanagement is all about hovering over how things are done. Directive is being crystal clear about what needs to be done and why it needs to be done, and then letting the employees do the work. The difference sounds small, but it isn't. So that raises an obvious question for me. When is directive leadership actually the right style to be using? Because remember, the whole premise of this series is that no one style is right all of the time. There are 3 moments when directive leadership is the most caring thing that you can do. First, when someone is new to the job, new to the team, new to the task they've never done before. Handing a brand new hire total autonomy isn't trust. It's more like abandonment. Like, I guess we'll live with whatever you come up with. New people don't need space. They need a roadmap, a standard, and they need to understand what success looks like. And also understand that you're gonna check in on the process. Second, when the stakes are high and there's not much time. A crisis, a hard deadline, a safety issue. This is not a moment for collaborative leadership. Like, what does everybody think? What should we do? When the building is on fire, a leader who takes a vote is not inclusive. They're absent and not reading what needs to happen. In those moments, your team doesn't want options. They want someone to say, here's what we're gonna do. Go. Third, when the standard of work starts to quietly slip away. This one's uncomfortable. Somewhere along the way, the expectations begin to slip and get fuzzy. Work that used to be an 8 out of 10 is coming in now at a 5, more like mediocre, and everyone feels it. Re-clarifying those expectations isn't harsh. What's harsh is letting someone fail slowly in public while saying nothing. You know who understands this better than almost anyone I've seen on television? Gordon Ramsay. Stay with me here. You've seen him scream at a grown man over risotto on Kitchen Nightmares. You've also seen him on MasterChef Junior kneeling next to a crying 8-year-old, speaking so gently he's barely recognizable. Same man and probably the same week. He's not being fake in either of those moments. He's reading what the person in front of him needs and is reacting to. The failing restaurant owner who's lying to himself needs that very clear wall of clarity. The 8-year-old needs him to get down to his level and comfort him. The style isn't who you are, though you may get a reputation like Gordon. It's what the moment requires. Years later, I got the chance to do things differently with my own team. There was someone on my team who's being perceived one way by everybody around them and feeling something completely different inside. The team had started talking about them behind their back, and everyone was doing the same thing I used to do, reading minds and making assumptions. So I sat down with them and said the uncomfortable thing out loud. Here's how the team is experiencing you. Here's what's happening when you're not in the room. Was it comfortable? Absolutely not. But here's what I found in that conversation. Not a flaw, not a failure, but they just approached things differently. They weren't wrong, they weren't right, just different. And naming it changed everything for them and the team. They started adapting. The team started adapting to them, and the whole group learned something I've never forgotten. Conversations always beat assumptions. Every time. Because when things go wrong, blame is what fills the space where a conversation should have been. That conversation only happened because I chose clarity over comfort. That's directive leadership. And nobody in the room experienced it as harsh. While that's sinking in, leave a comment below. Tell me about a time when you needed more direction than you got. A job, a project, a season of life where a little clarity would have changed everything for you. Now let's check in. So far, we've discussed what directive actually is and the 3 moments it's the right call. Now let's clear the fog around the word because directive gets blamed for a lot of things that it isn't. Directive is not harsh, and volume is not clarity. You can be quiet and completely clear. You can be loud and completely useless. Some of the clearest leaders I've ever worked with have almost never raised their voice because they didn't have to. The clarity does the work that the volume was trying to do. Directive is not just being honest. Here's the trap that the research flags too. Leaders who use authenticity as a license to be blunt, something like, I'm just telling it like it is. My thoughts are, no, you're skipping the part where you care how it lands. Direct without care isn't authentic. It's lazy. And directive is not a personality. It's not who you are. It's a gear you shift into when the moment calls for it and shift out of when it doesn't. Think about Michael Scott from The Office for a second. He wanted to be liked so badly that nobody in the office ever knew what was actually expected of them. That's the fog I'm talking about. We literally laugh at this on screen, and some of us live it out in real life. It's not warmth. Even though it's funny, it's fog. And fog is cold. And your team deserves better. So how do we really do this? Give real direction without turning into the villain of our own story. 4 moves here. Number 1, say the why before the what. Direction without context feels like control. Direction with context feels like inclusion. For example, we need this by Friday is an order. The client presents Monday, so we need to get this to him by Friday afternoon is more of a roadmap. Same deadline, completely different experience. Number 2, describe what done looks like successfully. Not just make this better. Not, you know what I mean. Actually say the standard out loud in a way that anybody can understand it. If you can't describe what success looks like, the problem isn't their performance, it's your clarity. Number 3, schedule the check-in when you give the task. Let's look at it together on Wednesday. Set up front turns your follow-up from surveillance into support they can expect. Same conversation. The timing of when you announce it changes everything. Number 4, keep your warmth in the room. This is one that nobody tells you. Being directive doesn't mean switching off who you are. You can be completely clear and completely kind in the same breath. I need this done differently, and I'm going to show you exactly how. There's really no cruelty anywhere in that sentence. And here's the shift underneath all 4. You stop asking, how do I say this without upsetting them? And start asking, what do they need to hear from me to succeed? The first question is about your comfort. The second question is about their success. That's the shift. Every time you're vague with someone to spare their feelings, you're making a quiet bet against them. You're betting that they can't handle the truth about where they actually stand, that they're too fragile for clarity, and they can feel it. Even when they can't name it, they can feel it. But every time you're clear with someone, kindly, specifically face-to-face, you're telling them without saying it. I believe you can handle this. I believe you can meet this standard. I believe you can meet that deadline. I'm not going to let you fail in the dark while I stay comfortable. That's what clarity actually is. That's why it's a form of care. I'm not trying to help you become a tougher boss. I'm trying to help you become a clearer one, because the fog was never protecting them. It was only ever protecting you. So here's what we built today. Directive leadership is the foundation. Clear expectations, clear standards, clear support. The ground your people actually stand on. Nothing else will work without it. But here's what Directive can't do. It can't grow anyone. If all you ever do is hand people a roadmap, they'll never learn how to read the terrain and navigate it. They'll hit a problem, and instead of thinking about it, they'll line up outside your door for you to solve it. And slowly, without meaning to, you become the literal answering machine, the machine that answers all of the questions. Every solution flows through you. You can imagine that builds quite a bottleneck. It helps you feel important, honestly, right up to the time you realize your team can't move on without you. And that's where our second style comes in, coaching, where the questions you ask become more powerful than the answers you give. And next episode, I'm going to show you why questions are a form of trust and why the leaders who ask them build teams that can finally think without them. If clarity is the foundation, coaching is what we build on it. And we're just getting started. Directive leadership isn't the opposite of caring for your people. Done right, it's one of the deepest ways you can show it. And do me a favor, if this reframed something for you, share it with somebody who's stuck in the fog right now. The one who cares so much about being liked that they may be losing their team. They don't need a lecture, they just might need this reframe. And subscribe before you go, because episode 2 is about coaching and it's going to challenge everything you know about being helpful. If you've ever been proud of always having the answers, that episode is going to sting a little bit. So this week we're going to lead with clarity. It's more caring than you think. And before you go, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification button so you never miss another episode. I'll see you in episode 2. And don't forget, I'm rooting for you.